He was crying before he even finished the sentence. Sitting across from me at our kitchen table, the same table where we'd eaten breakfast that morning, where he'd kissed me on the forehead and asked if I'd felt the baby move yet, and he was crying, like he was the one who needed comforting. "I messed up," he said. "It was a mistake. It didn't mean anything." I was 24 years old, 5 months pregnant, and I sat very still, and I let him keep talking. Let me tell you who Tyler was when I fell in love with him. He was charming in that specific way that makes you feel chosen. 2 years together, a shared apartment, a life that felt like it was finally clicking into place. He worked at a salon. He was good, genuinely talented. And I believed in him the way you believe in someone when you're young and in love and think that's enough. About 8 months into living together, Tyler started talking about a baby, not casually, with urgency. "I want to build something with you. I want to be a dad. I know the timing isn't perfect, but when is it ever?" I had doubts. My income had dipped. His was inconsistent. I said maybe we should wait. He said he didn't want to wait. He said he was sure. So I trusted him because he was my partner, because he looked me in the eyes and told me this was what he wanted more than anything. And I believed him. I got pregnant 3 months later. He cried happy tears when I showed him the test. He downloaded a baby app on his phone that tracked the size of our daughter every week. He picked out names. He told his mother. He was so proud. And then he slept with his 20-year-old apprentice at the salon. Her name was Kayla. She was new. He was training her. He told me everything at that kitchen table in pieces, like pulling something apart slowly is somehow kinder than doing it all at once. It had started 2 months ago. It had happened more than once. He was sorry. He didn't know why. He loved me. It was a mistake. I asked him one question. While I was pregnant? He couldn't look at me when he nodded. There is a specific kind of pain that doesn't announce itself loudly. It doesn't make you scream. It sits down somewhere inside your chest, and it just stays there. Heavy and quiet and permanent. That's what I felt in that moment. Then came the excuses. And this is the part that still makes my blood run cold, because he actually believed them. He said Kayla made him feel like a hair god. I want you to sit with that phrase for a second. A hair god. She was impressed by his blowouts and his balayage technique, and apparently that was enough for him to blow up our family. He said he felt unappreciated at home, that I'd been tired and distant and focused on the pregnancy, as if growing his child inside my body was somehow neglecting him. He said he was scared of fatherhood, that it had all felt so real lately, and Kayla was fun and uncomplicated, and it helped him escape. Escape. From the baby he begged me to have. I listened to all of it. I did not cry. Not in front of him. I asked him very clearly if he was willing to quit the job or cut contact with her completely. He said he didn't think that was realistic. He said they worked together. He said it would be awkward. He said he needed time. There are moments in your life where a person shows you exactly who they are. Not who they want to be, not who they were on your best days together, who they actually are when everything is on the line. Tyler showed me. I told him to get out. He cried again at the door, told me he loved me, told me he wanted to fix it. I held the door open, and I waited until he walked through it, and then I closed it behind him. I sat on the kitchen floor for a while after that. I put my hand on my stomach, and I talked to my daughter. Because that's what you do when there's no one left in the room. I told her that her mom was going to be okay. I told her she was still wanted. I told her none of this was her fault. I meant every word. I found out 2 weeks later through a mutual friend that Tyler was still seeing Kayla, still working at the same salon, still posting on his Instagram like a man without a single consequence in the world. He texts me about the baby, asks for updates, sends heart emojis when I share ultrasound photos. I respond when it's about our daughter. That's the boundary. That's where my energy goes now. I am 7 months pregnant. I am doing this without him in my home, without him in my bed, without the version of my future I had planned. But here is what I need you to hear. He wanted this baby. He pushed for this. He promised me we were ready. And then, the moment reality showed up, he ran toward the easiest exit he could find and called it a mistake. The mistake wasn't mine. I didn't lose a good man. I lost the illusion of one. And painful as that is, it is so much better to know now than to find out later. My daughter is going to be born to a mother who chose her, even when it got hard. That's the only story that matters now.